diplomacy or diaspora? Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
So far, what have we completed in international relations? We have completed what is foreign policy. We have seen the most important quotes. We have seen factors on which India's foreign policy depends. We have done evolution of India's foreign policy. We have done the doctrines on which India's foreign policy is based. In last class, we did strategic autonomy. Now, there is one more thing, that is dimensions. And dimensions, as you know, would be polity, economy, security, strategic. Political diplomacy, economic diplomacy, strategic diplomacy, transit diplomacy, and connectivity diplomacy, para diplomacy, and people to people diplomacy. So two that we'll be taking in today's class in detail, that is trade and transit diplomacy. And second is people to people or diaspora diplomacy. Next year, an expectation is that question will be from trade and transit diplomacy. Diaspora is a favorite topic or a expected question that can be asked any year, because many things that happen to the people of India in the international order that affects the diaspora. So we will do this in detail, and in continuation in the next class, we will do coercive diplomacy. That is a part of the current trade diplomacy of US, coercive diplomacy. And then the challenges of India's foreign policy, and first part of India's foreign policy will be over. Okay, so trade and transit and diaspora diplomacy, plus a brief idea about all of the dimensions. Okay, so this is what is the agenda for today's class. So today we are dealing with elements of India's foreign policy, and we are doing two elements in detail, that is trade and transit diplomacy and people to people diplomacy or diaspora diplomacy. So these are two things on the agenda today. Let us do very quickly diaspora from the previous notes itself. There is slight additions. Trade and transit mein there is the entire topic is new, but people to people or diaspora diplomacy jo hai, we can refer to our previous material. There is less addition, some datas are changing, and I'll be able to also explain it very comprehensively, और दोनों topic हमारा हो जाएगा. So let us see. Is this visible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just some new addition is there. Otherwise, most of the things are static right now of what we had done last year in this. So first, diaspora mein there is quote, meaning, the various data. This data has changed. Significance of diaspora, evolution of Indian diaspora, challenges. Some challenges are changing, some new challenges, especially because of Trump. Then parliamentary standing committee and government initiative and way forward. Okay, so first, there is a quote by Prime Minister Modi. Shavya, please read this quote.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The present government went beyond demanding that diaspora do more for the country by assuring that India will do more for diaspora.
Yes. Second, Indian diaspora serves as a living bridge connecting India to the world. Now, my first question is, what is diaspora? अगर इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखें तो डायस्पोरा किसको कहा जाएगा? यस, एनीबॉडी?
Sir,
फॉर एग्जांपल,
mainly the people who are living outside their country of origin.
people who are living outside there. In Indian context, it would be people of Indian origin living outside. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So PIOs को डिफाइन करने के लिए आपके सिटीजनशिप एक्ट में there is a constitutional provision. NRIs are also part of Indian diaspora. The migrant worker, is he or she also part of Indian diaspora? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So all these three are part of Indian diaspora. People of Indian origin, मतलब जिनके कभी बाप दादा या उनके दादा, that is how the law recognizes, whose father, whose grandfather or whose great grandfather was an Indian citizen or held an Indian passport at some time in the past, that person will be considered a person of Indian origin. So if you see the Indian context, Government of India does not have a definition for diaspora, but has loosely defined it as a group of people who can either trace their rights to India, who are Indian citizens living abroad, either temporarily or permanently. That means PIO, OCIs, NRI, migrant worker, they are all Indian diaspora. If you want to go into the etymological meaning of the term has originated from diasporan. See, diaspora is basically Greek in origin. Why? Oh, sorry, not Greek, Jewish in origin. Because Jews, they were not having any particular homeland or any particular territory. When they were being persecuted in ancient times, they were also persecuted in modern times by Hitler. So they dispersed throughout the world. They went to all parts of the world. They went to Europe, they went to America, they went to Canada, etc. There is some very controversial theories or uh, conspiracy theories also with respect to them, that some of these Jews control the world today. For example, Rockefeller. You must be aware of Rockefeller Foundation and its influence on US. Rockefeller became the largest bank. Some people say he it financed the world wars for the Western allies like US, UK. So when the Second World War happened, Britain gave back a permanent land for them in the form of Israel. Therefore, this entire Palestine-Israel or Palestine-Jews debate started to occur. So basically, the idea is something like what you also have in the current government as Hindu Rashtra. That Hindus living anywhere can come back to their motherland. Similarly, Jews living anywhere, they can come back to their motherland. Although we are a pluralistic society, we are not one nation, one religion society. Therefore, this Citizenship Amendment Act allowed for only persecuted Hindus or everybody. Yes. So Parsis, Jains, Sikhs, Hindus, Christians. There is one more. Parsis, Jains, Sikhs, Hindus, Buddhists. Yes. They could come back to India and gain Indian citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act. Although technically speaking, they were already in India. It is not like we were calling people from those countries. They had fled those countries and were living already in India. We were giving them statehood, or sorry, not statehood, we were giving them citizenship and removing their statelessness. So that is the entire idea about diaspora. If you talk about Indian diaspora, तो आज तो जो है इंडिया से people are going to West Asia or Middle East. India se people are going towards Asian countries. People are going towards US. People are going towards Europe. What was happening during ancient times?
So foreign travelers are coming to India.
Yes, all this route was towards India. For example, there is Columbus. He wanted to discover India. He accidentally landed in West Indies. Or Columbus, it is said that discovered India. Or we should thank God every day that Vasco da Gama was able to discover India. Not for us, for themselves. वरना वो गरीब और uncivilized ही रह जाते. Because he could discover India, Europe became Europe, which is today. Next time any European says anybody, you should tell them that you thank your God that Vasco da Gama was able to discover India. वरना आज भी आप जो है, you would be living in tribal medieval societies. So from China, from Asian, students were coming to Takshashila. Students were coming to Nalanda. So India was the hub. So until 15th and 16th, from the Middle East, there is Arabs or Islamic invasion coming. Thank God they brought biryani, because rice was not grown in the Middle East, but they could invent biryani by the miracle of God. They could grow rice in the desert. That technology has been lost. So if you see the evolution of Indian diaspora, up till 15th to 16th century, the whole world wanted to come to India. So Bodhidharma took Buddhism to China. Ashoka sent his daughter and son-in-law to Sri Lanka. Scholars used to come to Nalanda. Columbus, in search of India, reached America. Then comes the medieval and the colonial era. So that time, a new kind of diaspora is being taken, or Indians are taken to various colonies of Britain. Indians are being taken to Mauritius. Indians are being taken to Maldives. Indians are being taken to Europe, Africa. ये जो मॉरिशस मालदीव जा रहे हैं, इनको क्या कहते हैं? गिरमिटियस. So this, because slavery got abolished in UK, so UK had to export slaves from its colonies. That is how Indians are going, and this is called as the old diaspora. So Indian laborers went to various colonies as indentured laborers. Contract sign karte the, and they were not able to even, if they used to break the contract, they were jailed. Okay. So today, Seychelles, Mauritius, Maldives, they have significant Indian population because of this phenomenon. Then diaspora during freedom struggle. Obviously, you know who is the diaspora who came to India on 9th January 1915.
Gandhiji.
Yes. This is celebrated even today as Pravasiye Bharatiya Divas. Yes. But did diaspora had a role during freedom struggle? Who was championing the role of, or the voice of India in UK?
Dadabhai Nehruji.
Yes. What is the name of organization?
East India Association.
Yes. Then if we talk about US, who are the leaders?
Sir, Lala Hardayal.
Okay, Lala Hardayal. Lala Hardayal, Sohan Singh Bhakna, Bhai Parmanand, etc. And what? Ras Bihari Bose. And what is the organization? Sorry, who?
So Madam Bikaji Kama.
Madam Bikaji Kama is not in US. She will be in France. The organization is
Gadar.
Gadar Party. उनका न्यूज़पेपर जो है उसका भी नाम गदर था. If we talk about Europe, so in France there is Madam Bikaji Kama. Yes, she is also called as the, if Gandhiji is the father of India, who is the mother of India in modern freedom struggle sense?
Madam Bikaji Kama.
Madam Bikaji Kama. Germany. You must have read. Yes, Jatindranath Mukherjee is also called as
Bhaga Jatin.
Bhaga Jatin. So there is the Zimmermann plan. In the Zimmermann plan, basically we wanted to import weapons from Germany and then cause a revolt and upthrow of the British Empire in India. So there Bagha Jatin is there, Anushilan Samiti is involved in this, Sachin Sanyal is there. This Zimmerman plan, as you know, failed because of somebody became a traitor and informed the British. So if we talk about Asia, so there is Ras Bihari, Ghosh or Bose.
Both.
Yes, Ghosh is a moderate leader. So Ras Bihari Bose handed the reins of INA to
Subhash Chandra Bose.
Subhash Chandra Bose. So this is the role of diaspora during India's freedom struggle. Post-colonialism, after independence and after 1991, there is new diaspora. This diaspora is English educated. This diaspora is having technical skills. They are IITians, trained doctors, nurses, basically skilled labor or high skilled labor. And they seek political and economic rights. So in this context, we can make a comparison between old diaspora, which was the Girmitia diaspora, and the new diaspora, which is post-colonial diaspora. So the old diaspora, they went abroad due to push factors. What is push factors? Yes. What is push factor? We have done migration topic. Migration happens due to two kinds of factor, push factor and pull factor. So push factor, something which is propelling them to move out of that area, out of some restraints, constraints, etc. So because of economic hardships, because of social discrimination, because of environmental factors, the old diaspora moved. Because of persecution and conflict, because of overseas conflict in war, that is Indian soldiers, they went to participate in World War I and World War II. So this diaspora, they went as indentured labor. They had no civil and political rights. In fact, Gandhiji's first civil disobedience in South Africa was with respect to what? Yes.
Endangered labor.
Yes, there were 2-3 issues. First, he was thrown out of the train. There was unequal treatment, or there was systemic racism. Then the migrant population, the black population, they had to carry a ID card at all times as their proof. Then they also had to marriages which were not sanctioned by the church, they were considered illegal. So there was a protest against that, so on and so forth. So they were not even having the basic recognition, basic civil and political rights. They were agriculture or plantation or unskilled labor. Whereas the new diaspora, they went due to pull factors. So trade and globalization, example, H-1B visa in US, there is liberal democracies with freedom of speech, religion, attracted youth. So there is trade and globalization, there is liberal democracies, better social services like healthcare, education, etc. Many of them went to study in the Ivy Leagues. Many of them were technocrats. They hold significant political and economic clout. For example, Indian American diaspora is the richest अगर आप इनका डेटा देखें, सो इंडियन अमेरिकन डायस्पोरा इज हैविंग अ पर कैपिटा इनकम ऑफ 1,30,000 in US. They are 1% of the population, 6% of taxpayer. Highest percentage of college pass outs is Indian diaspora. They are professional, skilled, and more importantly, law abiding. I don't know why people go to these places. Yesterday only I was seeing a news that some Indian diaspora was beheaded there. मतलब इनके यहाँ पर ओपन बीहेडिंग हो रहा है, इनके यहाँ पर रिफॉर्मर्स शूट हो रहे हैं. देयर इज चार्ली कर्क, फॉर व्हाटएवर हिज व्यूज, ही वाज जस्ट हैविंग अ डिफरेंट व्यू, ही वाज शॉट डाउन. देयर प्रेसिडेंट इज अटैक्ड. और ये लोग बात करते हैं कि न्यू दिल्ली इज अनसेफ फॉर विमेन, इंडिया इज अनसेफ फॉर ट्रेवलर्स, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. जिनके यहाँ पर ओपनली सड़कों पे लोगों का गला काट दिया जा रहा है, जिनके यहाँ पर पीपल आर शॉट simply for having a different ideological view. The president elect was also shot. Such is the daily law and order fallout in US. यहाँ तक कि उनके राष्ट्रपति का खुद मानना है, and he has put his own police force in Washington DC just so he could go and eat in a restaurant. इसको आप जरा कंपेयर कीजिए भारत में. The Indian Prime Minister is going to visit the most troubled part of India that is existing in the last 2 years, that is Manipur. So can you imagine how lucky we are? Yes.
Very true, sir. Yes, sir.
भारत के प्रधानमंत्री भारत के सबसे ट्रबल्ड एरिया में जा रहे हैं. कुकू, सॉरी नॉट कुकू, माय कुकीज़ोहो, they have already welcomed him. It is said that if he comes, there is a ceasefire also, there is an agreement also. Lot of peace and reconciliation steps have been taken in the most disturbed area that has been in the past 2 years. The US president goes to a restaurant in US by putting federal police, black commandos or whatever they are called there, in the capital, saying that it is otherwise, that is his statement, that otherwise I would not have dared to step out and eat in Washington DC. और आप लोग यहाँ से अपने सपने बेच के वहां पे जाते हो कि हम न्यूयॉर्क जाएंगे, वॉशिंगटन डीसी जाएंगे, यहाँ जाएंगे. प्लीज बी अप्रिशिएटिव ऑफ व्हाट दिस नेशन इज. I am not making an overstatement. India is the best country to live on this planet right now.
100%, sir.
Now, coming back to the data with respect to diaspora. So, MEA तो कहती है कि हमारा 30 million diaspora है. When asked कैसे, they have no mechanism to capture this. There is the World Migration Report by International Organization on Migration. They are saying 17.9 million hai, but both of them are agreeing that Indian diaspora is the largest in the world. For example, UAE, US, Saudi, these are our top 3 places of highest diaspora population. RBI की अगर रिपोर्ट आप देखें, तो डायस्पोरा का रेमिटेंस जो है 100 बिलियन से 125 बिलियन हो गया. अभी मैं नया डेटा भी आपको देता हूं, लेकिन दिस डेटा इज इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज दिस इज हैपनिंग ड्यूरिंग विच टाइम?
COVID.
दिस इज वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट. एक पॉइंट हम देखेंगे कि डायस्पोरा का रेमिटेंस जो है काउंटर साइक्लिकल है. भारत में अगर ग्रोथ डाउन है तो डायस्पोरा का अर्निंग जो है या डायस्पोरा का रेमिटेंस वापस भारत में ज्यादा आता है. If India's growth is slowing, more people will go outside, earn and send back. So there is a counter cyclical. When India is growing, diaspora will be coming back and working in India. When India is slowing down, diaspora will go outside. They will send back more remittance, thus propelling India's growth. Counter cyclical. वर्ल्ड बैंक का रिपोर्ट कहता है कि डायस्पोरा का रेमिटेंस 3% है इंडिया जीडीपी. पीडब्ल्यू का रिसर्च कहता है कि इंडियन डायस्पोरा इज द रिचेस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड इन यूएस. यूनेस्को's representative list of intangible cultural heritage, garba, ramayan, yoga, various cuisines, chicken tikka masala. They are very famous now in US. Now write some new data. Everybody. So far till here, is there any doubt? Anybody? Yes.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So just write some new data. So as of January 2025, the diaspora is 34.3 million. Spread across 207 countries. On remittance, in financial year 2024-25, $135.46 billion remittance, an increase of 14% year on year. $135 billion भेजा इन्होंने. You can write a small point, double of what was 8 years ago. ट्रेंड, अगर ज्योग्राफिकल ट्रेंड देखें, so more than 50% of diaspora living in 10 countries. UAE, US, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, etc. And the PRS report it says that this data may be an undercount. That means the data may be even higher. India is intentionally not flagging or showing its high diaspora. Okay. Now let us discuss the benefits. ये लिख लिया सभी ने 3-4 data. Their scale, remittance and trend.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us discuss their benefits and challenges. So first is the economic significance, then political significance, then social and cultural significance. These are the three significances where we have broadly classified them into, and then their challenges. So first, economic significance, as you know that according to World Bank, it constitutes 3% of India's GDP. The remittance right now is $134.56 billion in 2024-25, a 14% increase. So this protects against volatility in foreign exchange, especially currently because of the US-India trade and tariff dispute. Rupee is at an all-time low. Next, economic significance. It is an important source of investment in physical and social infrastructure. Very good example is the Shazi phenomena of China. What is Shazi phenomena of China? Anybody? Yes, Shevya. What is Shazi phenomena? Rishika?
Sir, sir, may be related to foreign exchange,
Mainly related to foreign exchange.
foreign exchange reserves, protection against volatility.
Right. So this is their phenomena that grew in 1990s 2000, where it was basically copy and innovate. इन्होंने शुरू में जो है कॉपी किया और फिर इनोवेट करके अपना बेटर प्रोडक्ट निकाल दिया. जैसे आप अभी देखेंगे कि ईवीज में there is a company BYD. Its car looked very much like Tesla. Initially they did copy, but when they could do reverse engineering, they built a better product. Okay, so initial was copy, then was innovate. Today it is expansion. Initially it was in manufacturing phones, cars, etc. Today it is expansion into luxury products. So this was based on imitation and adaptation technique. Today China is not dependent on Facebook. China does not have Instagram. Instead it has Weibo. Instead it has its own platforms, TikTok. सो ये जेनजी यहां पर नहीं हो पाएगा. ओके. Third important economic reason is the remittances were counter cyclical. Counter cyclical. You know that in economy there are boom and bust cycles. Boom cycle when the economy is growing. So when the economy is growing, government should spend more or government should tax and save more. Yes. When the economy is booming, what should be the government policy generally?
The government should tax more.
Yes. It should be.
Contraction.
Yes, it should be contractionary policy. अभी हम उल्टा करते हैं. इंडिया में जो है पॉलिसीज वर सिक्लिकल. इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ने कहा कि काउंटर सिक्लिकल होना चाहिए. सिक्लिकल क्या है? इकोनॉमी ग्रो करती है तो गवर्नमेंट भी स्पेंड करता है, फिस्कल डेफिसिट वगैरह बढ़ाता है, बाद में हमको दिक्कत हो जाती है. कैसी दिक्कत होती है अभी डिस्कस करते हैं. सो व्हेन द इकोनॉमी इज ग्रोइंग, गवर्नमेंट शुड हैव अ कॉन्ट्रैक्शनरी fiscal policy. Government should be taxing more. Government should be cutting down its expenditure. So that when the economy goes into the bust cycle or in recession, what can government do? Government has the capacity to create demand by spending. So here government can spend on public infrastructure. Basically there will be rise in public investment. वो कब आएगा? जब आपने बूम फेज में जो है सेव किया है. तो बस्ट फेज में गवर्नमेंट विल बी स्पेंडिंग एंड देन लाइक इंप्रूविंग द इकोनॉमी. तो इकोनॉमिक सर्वे कहता है कि पॉलिसी ऐसी होनी चाहिए. ड्यूरिंग बूम फेज गवर्नमेंट शुड हैव अ कॉन्ट्रैक्शनरी फिस्कल पॉलिसी एंड ड्यूरिंग बस्ट फेज government should have a expansionary business policy or expansionary fiscal policy. This kind of policy is called anti-cyclical or counter-cyclical. तो रेमिटेंस में भी ये देखा गया कि जब भी भारत में बस्ट है, people will be going outside, they will be working and then sending back remittances. So remittances has definitely been useful for India's bust or recession or preventing India from undergoing in recession. Then very important last economic benefit is technology transfer and entrepreneurship. So Indian diaspora brings cutting edge technology, entrepreneurship, expertise, etc. If you see many of the world CEOs, they are people of Indian origin. So they may come and invest in India. They may come and make for India. They may bring foreign technology, cutting edge technology. They may bring value, much required investment. Second is political significance. Something called as track to diplomacy. Or informal channels for diplomacy. For example, अभी आप देखेंगे ट्रंप साहब के सुर अचानक बदल गए. Trump's recent statements have been conciliatory or have they been attacking India? Yes. Yesterday only he said that putting 50% on India, it was a very hard thing to do. It was a difficult thing. He had to take a very difficult decision so that he could end the Ukraine conflict. He could curb Russia's economy. So he had to take a very hard decision. That is his statement. He said that he has very good relations with Prime Minister Modi. India is वहाँ के कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर वगैरह कह रहे हैं, मार्को रूबियो कह रहे हैं, वहाँ के वाइस प्रेसिडेंट कह रहे हैं, वैंस साहब, that India's US relation is the defining relation. It is a special relation. But can any of you identify how this change happened?
Sir, maybe due to India's emerging multi-vector foreign policy, like India is tackling
अच्छा,
more.
when we went to SCO वगैरह.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, वो भी ठीक है, लेकिन फिर भारत ने एक लॉबिंग फर्म को हायर किया, और अभी 2-3 दिन 4 दिन पहले उस लॉबिंग फर्म के जो हेड हैं, उन्होंने ट्रम्प साहब के साथ जाके फोटो खिंचाए. So Pakistan is spending $600 million on a lobbying firm in US. इमेजिन कीजिए, भारत जो है $200 मिलियन जो उनका रेगुलर खर्च रहा है वैसा ही था, अभी थोड़ा सा उन्होंने इंक्रीज किया और एक लॉबिंग फर्म को हायर किया. इनके पास देखिए, खाने को इनके घर में पॉपुलेशन में पैसा नहीं है, आटे के लिए वहां पर लड़ाई हो जाती है. देयर कंट्री इज सैवेज्ड बाय फ्लड्स, लेकिन दे आर स्पेंडिंग $600 मिलियन फॉर लॉबिंग इन यूएस. So that is the failed state and that is for their people to decide. But ये उनकी situation, और वो गरीब रहेंगे. One day they will be wiped out of the map of. It will be again left to us to solve their problem. But ये जो diaspora है, it is useful for taking India's cause or India's interest. It is also very important instrument of India's soft power. For example, recognition of yoga, Indian cuisine. There are various restaurants which are very, very famous. Various Indian chefs were very, very famous. Okay. Another political significance is many of the people of Indian origin are premier of various countries. अब तो नहीं है ऋषि सुनक साहब, but Kamala Harris भी नहीं है. लेकिन instead of these two people, there is JD Vance, vice president's wife is Usha Vance, person of Indian origin. Okay, so premiers of various countries are people of Indian origin. CEOs of various global MNCs are people of Indian origin. So this is the political significance. Next is the social and cultural significance. So many social organizations are active abroad and they are having good influence or step, like ISKCON, YSS. What is Sadhguru's organization called?
The Isha Foundation.
Isha Foundation. There is Art of Living. They are very prominent and successful in the West. Okay, so social and cultural significance is there. Then India's culture is being taken to the global sphere through the globalization, like Hindustani music, cuisine, festivals, etc. As you know, except that Diwali is celebrated in the White House every year. Okay. Finally, remittance or diaspora, it is able to tackle the regional imbalance, because most of this, if we talk about migrant workers, their profile, still today, unskilled worker is going from UP, Bihar, Odisha. To work in Saudi, to work in Dubai, to work in Kuwait, Qatar. So they are able to bring back remittance, they are able to bring back technological know-how, etc. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आते हैं, लेकिन नया काम करने का नजरिया लेके आते हैं, मॉडर्न प्रोग्रेसिव वैल्यूज लेके आते हैं सऊदी से. So there is modernization of India's rural areas. This is the important benefits. Now, what are the challenges? And challenges we will be doing area wise or region wise. So for example, right now the most important challenge is with respect to Indian American diaspora. Under the presidency of Trump, there is xenophobia, H1B visa. There are restrictions. Many of the Indian students studying in Harvard, their visa was cancelled. Their social media profiles are checked. और ये लोग बात करते हैं, हमको ज्ञान देते हैं फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन. देयर इज सिस्टमिक रेसिज्म. Sorry, my mistake. So there is systemic racism in US. There is definitely hate crime where many engineers, they have been shot on the road. Many IT professionals, they have been shot on the road. So in US, there is systemic racism faced by migrant population. So students are suffering, workers are suffering. Then there is also the economic challenge. US has not signed the totalization agreement. Totalization agreement क्या है basically समझने के लिए, see, workers, they have certain social security benefits. जैसे आपको भी क्या benefit मिलेगा? You will be getting health care, you will be getting your pension fund, EF, PF, PPF, etc. So इसके लिए कंपनी क्या करती है? कंपनी विल बी चार्जिंग यू समथिंग फ्रॉम योर सैलरी, प्लस कंपनी विल ऑल्सो बी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग. यूएस में ये जो कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन होता है कंपनी का, उसके अगेंस्ट में कोई सोशल सिक्योरिटी नहीं मिलती है, क्योंकि वहां पर सोशल सिक्योरिटी का नॉर्म ये है कि 10 साल बाद ही मिलेगी आपको. और मैक्सिमम जो वर्क वीजा मिलता है वो 6 से 7 साल का मिलता है, जनरली तो पहले 3 ही साल का मिलता है. So Indians are contributing more than $1 billion in social security schemes, but not getting anything in return. Getting my point? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now write some other Indian American diaspora challenges. Just give the heading. Other challenges. So there was a recent challenge of illegal migration risks. Some of you might have heard the term donkey route. Yes. So from Latin America to US border, migrants are trafficked. They are arrested and sent back. In the process, many of them are killed or shot dead. Many of them have a huge financial loss. Many of them are under detention. So So this is the new problem that has been found there. This donkey route, people who are going illegally to US and getting arrested and sent back or facing issues. Then another challenge is statelessness. So many of these people who are being sent back, India does not allow dual citizenship. So once they took US citizenship and today it is being cancelled and they are being sent back, India is having a legal trouble giving them Indian citizenship. Okay, there is definitely systemic like racism. Another challenge there is the identity and integration challenge. So there is problem in integrating into the Western societies. Because of various cultural stereotypes. There is still, this can be part of your racism also, but it is a slightly softer version. There is outsider tag. People are living in, not in mixed colonies there. People will be living in ghettos. So there will be a South Asian population area. There will be a Chinese population area, Chinese market, etc. Like that it is present. They are segregated based on, or they carry the outsider tag. Or what you can call as increase in xenophobia. Fear of outsiders. Okay. So this is some of the challenges in the Indian American diaspora. अगर हम बात करें कनाडा की, so there is growth of Khalistan movement and radicalization. Political relations were strained due to Niger killing. UK की बात करें तो there is Brexit. Now the FTA is not stalled, FTA is signed. But UK is a tax haven for economic offenders. For example, where is Malia today currently? In which country? He is in UK.
UK.
Yes. EU में भी बहुत सारे इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंडर्स बैठे हैं, जैसे नीरव मोदी, मेहुल चोकसी. India has to go great lengths for their extradition. So these countries are becoming important havens for economic offenders. If you talk about the Gulf region, obviously stability and instability and conflict is an important problem. The Israel-Hamas conflict, Syria, Yemen. Recently, there is the Iran bombing by US and Israel. There is also assassination of important sensitive Iranian leaders. There is also very recent Israel bombing of Qatar. So there is this threat that India will have to rescue its migrant populations from West Asia at any point of time. यहाँ पर अगर देखा जाए तो there is increased domestic policies like नीतिकत and कफाला. नीतिकत क्या है? सऊदी अरेबिया कहता है कि आप सिटीजन्स को प्रेफरेंस दीजिए माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स के अगेंस्ट। कफाला सिस्टम में क्या है, आप वहां पर माइग्रेंट लेबर बन के गए, आपका जो वोट पासपोर्ट वगैरह जो है वो कंपनी अपने कस्टडी में ले लेती है। यू आर नॉट फ्री टू गो। So this is the Nitikat and Kafala system challenges. The contracts are very, very exploitative. Including wage theft. पैसा नहीं देते काम करा के. The working conditions are unsafe. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कतर में जो वर्ल्ड कप के लिए स्टेडियम बन रहा था, मेनी माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स डाइड देयर। And there is no scope for unionization. Okay, then there is also lack of social security net and frauds. There is various human right violations which we have discussed. Competition from not just Bangladesh, competition from many other countries including Philippines, Mexico, etc. of standard labor. Gauri, please change the host. Yes, what was the last sentence you heard before I got disconnected? Yes.
like wage theft, कफाला सिस्टम तो हो गया था, so wage theft.
Come again.
How during Qatar Stadium, migrants
Yes,
were
many
killed.
migrants were killed, and India had to go at great lengths diplomatically just to retrieve the bodies. क्योंकि आपको पता है कि ये फुटबॉल वर्ल्ड कप वगैरह जो है, इसके लिए दिखाने के लिए तो ये लोग कई सारे नियम कानून लगाते हैं ना, ह्यूमन राइट वायलेशन नहीं होना चाहिए। वहां पर तो ओपनली ये ओपन सीक्रेट है कि कतर में वर्ल्ड कप सिर्फ ब्राइबिंग के दम पे हुआ है। दी फीफा प्रेसिडेंट एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में एक व्यक्ति ने तो उनके ऊपर ऐसे ओपनली नोट फेंका जस्ट टू हाईलाइट हिज करप्शन, बट इन्होंने अपने जो नियम कानून बना रखे, स्पेशली इन इंटरनेशनल ओलंपिक organization or FIFA, etc. They will be having these things that the body should be independent of the government. Is anybody independent of the government in Qatar? Yes.
No, sir.
सब ये सब फालतू की बातें हैं उनकी. दिस इज जस्ट वेस्टर्न प्रोपेगेंडा एक्सेट्रा. उसी को देंगे जहां से उनको ब्राइब मिलेगा. They are more corrupt at all levels than anywhere else in the world. और ये तो इनके ब्लड में है. These people are corrupt by history, by their descent. जिनके बाप दादा चोर लुटेरे रहे हैं, who have been invading countries and taking their wealth, why will these be any different? फिर लेकिन उस समय भी ज्ञान देते थे वाइट मैन्स बर्डन, और आज भी ज्ञान देते हैं फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. बस अब जो है their ज्ञान will be countered back with bigger ज्ञान, and if they go beyond that, you will simply not care. So next important challenge is competition from Bangladesh, competition from Philippines. Bangladesh से जो cheap labor हैं, they are going. Philippines से there will be English speaking population. Then there is also Mexico. So there is also important competition. Other regions में जैसे यूक्रेन में जो स्टूडेंट्स थे, they had to be brought back. चाइना में से MBBS students had to be brought back during Galwan Valley clash. So other challenges include women and child rights. Many times they will be marrying an Indian woman and then deporting her without the child. So there is an important conflict of the child custody, etc. So women are being deserted in NRI marriages. Why? क्योंकि उनकी शादी जो है भारत में तो रजिस्टर हुई नहीं है. So there is still pendency of registration of marriage of non-resident Indian bill. Okay, so these are some of the important challenges. Now parliamentary standing committee ने क्या कहा है कि डायस्पोरा इतना सिग्निफिकेंट है लेकिन आपकी कोई क्लियर पॉलिसी नहीं. मेरा एक छोटा सा सवाल आपसे ये है, व्हाई डज इंडिया नॉट हैव अ क्लियर पॉलिसी ऑन इट्स डायस्पोरा? यस, anybody?
Maybe because of the source of income remittances.
What is our Panchsheel principle? Non-interference in domestic affairs of other nation. Diaspora is living in other country or not?
Yes, sir.
So generally we tend to avoid directly intervening in diaspora problems, but this government has changed that scenario. This government has gone out of its way to protect its diaspora outside or to secure the rights of its diaspora. There is a very famous quote by the late Sushma Swaraj, the then Foreign Minister of India, that even if you are stuck on Mars, on the planet Mars, Indian Foreign Office will reach out to you and will rescue you. And we have displayed this across last 10 years. Operation Sankat Mochan, Operation Vande Bharat, Operation Setu Samundaram, Operation Ganga. Etc. So clear policy हम इसलिए वो नहीं करते because it may come into conflict with some of our long standing norms like non-interference in each other's affairs, etc. Then this is definitely required. A clear database on Indian diaspora is required. In this context, the PRS report says that there is undercounting. So this parliamentary committee, it encouraged Indian embassy to encourage the diaspora to register themselves immediately. Government is also, there is a draft immigration management bill. It seeks to establish a comprehensive immigrant framework, liberalizing clearances and strengthening welfare of overseas migrants. Government has also come up with one-stop centers to help distressed NRI women. Many of the state governments are also coming up with skilling of potential migrant worker. There is also something called skill mapping. Especially UP has a migrant commission established. तो अगर जापान में मान लीजिए people are aging and there is requirement of geriatrics care, old age care के लिए लोगों की जरूरत है. So India में migrant workers are being trained in home-based care. This is fancy name for your ASHA worker. She is simply being trained. उनको थोड़ा जापानी सिखा दे रहे हैं हम. We are training them in the Japanese language, and once they pass the Japanese language, they already have an idea about rest of the things. So we are able to provide Japan with the much needed workforce for home-based care for the elderly. Then government initiatives are there. For example, Know Your Country, Standard Labor Export Agreement. The agreement there is a standard agreement which the agency which wants to hire migrant labor has to sign, including minimum wages, free housing, ex gratia, etc. एक body भी established है, New India Assurance Scheme. It provides insurance or social security cover for overseas workers. Government also harmonized the OCI and PIO. Their economic rights became similar. For NRIs, government came up with various things, especially with respect to their political rights, like proxy or postal ballot voting. They can now vote through web portal even without voter ID card. Okay, so these are some of the important initiatives done by the government. Okay, now just write one small way forward. Bilateral labor agreements. Very much like म्यूचुअल लीगल असिस्टेंस ट्रीटीज जैसे होती हैं, एक दूसरे के सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस को असिस्ट करने के लिए, क्रिमिनल्स को पकड़ने के लिए, वैसे ही एक बाइलैटरल लेबर अग्रीमेंट हो, स्पेशली MOUs विथ गल्फ कंट्रीज. ताकि इंडियन लेबर का वहां पर जाने के बाद एजेंसीज के द्वारा एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ना हो. देन Second, universal pre-departure orientation. एक प्री डिपार्चर ओरिएंटेशन हो स्पेशली फॉर अनस्किल्ड migrant on their rights, contract and safety norms. Then compulsory licensing and monitoring of recruitment agencies. Finally, government should implement the pending welfare of Indian diaspora bill. There is also one more bill that is pending, that is immigration bill. Both should be passed and implemented. Okay, so that is all on diaspora. Let us see a question. I think question is not mentioned in this document. No issues. We will write question in next class along with trade and transit diplomacy also, because 12 there is an essay class of batch 1. So tomorrow we'll meet again. Tomorrow you are having 3 classes. One is your essay class for batch 3 and there is philosophy class. So timing I'll get it announced. Currently I'm undergoing some medical treatment also for my teeth. So I'll have to also factor that. But I'll just consult with the team what time they can give me for your EMP. I want to take one EMP class because we are running one shot in this week. We should have completed the challenges by this week. So tomorrow we'll do trade and transit diplomacy and the challenges of India's foreign policy. And then we will write a question. Okay. For the diaspora, I'll send a question in the group. Please write and submit before the next class. Okay. If there is any doubt with respect to the diaspora topic, please ask. Otherwise, we'll conclude. There is one question I remember with respect to East Asian diaspora, which was asked a couple of years ago. What are the challenges or significance of East Asian diaspora? So that is there, but I want to see if there is some other question. Okay. So if there is any doubt, please ask. Otherwise, batch 1 and 2, we can go and join your If there's somebody from batch 1 and 2 for the essay class, you can mute that. Yes, any doubt? Okay, so for the challenges and way forward of diaspora, a small infographic poster will also be shared very soon in the next half an hour on the group. You can just refer to that infographic also for remembering the challenges and way forward that we have done today. Okay, rest of that is in the previous document, the challenges and way forward, because this topic required that kind of addition. Okay, next class में trade and transit diplomacy, we'll be doing a very good document. You will see all the trade routes, INSTC, IMAC, इनके अच्छे diagrams हम देखेंगे. Plus the ancient Silk Road, Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, Blue Dot Network, etc. We'll be seeing all that and Project Mosam and the significance of trade and transit diplomacy. If time permits, we'll do coercive diplomacy. वरना हम challenges पहले कर लेंगे. Coercive diplomacy भी एक challenge ही है. So briefly, we will discuss that. And tomorrow, the first part, basics of India's foreign policy, should be over, so that next week we can do India and its neighborhood, India and its extended neighborhood. By next week, that will be completed. And in the subsequent week, IR will be over, when we will do India and the blocks and India and great powers. Okay. So in the next 15 days, IR will be over. By next week, you will have one more class of EMP of another subject. So simultaneously, two subjects will be going from next week. So that is all from my side for today for EMP. Thank you for your time and patience.
Thank you. So
Thank
we'll
you, sir.
be having our philosophy class in the evening today.
Philosophy class is at 5 p.m. It was announced yesterday.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.